home back home after sailing. Just all of the winding down that would come after that.
You return, do you think family there?
Just my cousin Kaylorn. He's my first mate, but my cousin. Do you want me to keep going?
No, we can tell you if you want to.
That's it. Nope, that's just If it's just where I'm at in the world, then that's where I'm at.
All right. How about Serdor? Where would you be right now?
I would say, knowing that this summoning came following some of his very life-altering experiences, he would have probably packed up and readied, and on this day would be probably when he would set out from the Fangorn Forest. He would probably hesitate a little bit, think back to the ones he's leaving behind there, and be getting ready to move out into the world for the first time in a really long time.
Clove, where would we find her little feet?
So she would have been kind of skeptical about the summoning, prepared for it, but more like a hope and a prayer that it was real rather than actually believing that it is real. So she would still be in the Shire, kind of with her. Do we I'm sorry, did you say that we get teleported there, or do we have to go somewhere?
I don't know. It wasn't made clear, but the elves probably get that feeling.
Yeah, so she would probably have just thought this was a hope and a prayer, and if it was the only thing that she saw was this dream, she would kind of think it wasn't quite real. Prepare for it just in case, but doesn't actually think anything's gonna come of it. So she's still with her family in the Shire, doing her thing, being a ranger, helping to get all the pigs and deer for second breakfasts and supper, and just really being around her family like she always is.
Very cool. And how about Osiris?
Osiris is probably in Erebor. Got his sleeves rolled up, just common clothing. A deep V t-shirt with his white chest hair all coming out.
Dad style.
Yeah, exactly.
Sexy grandpa.
Hair pulled back in a ponytail. In front of a forge right now, and an anvil, hammering out some, just kind of perfecting a piece of his armor. And tell me again about the summoning.
Sure.
It would just be a means of...
Well, and I would say probably Osiris out of everyone. Whether or not you believe in this summoning. Basically, all you heard was a disembodied voice in your head saying that the door of night is open. You are all being summoned in order to stop it. You have 30 days to prepare. And that would have been it. But you would have, Osiris and especially the dwarves would have known when that happened, you would have felt a massive earthquake in the mountain. And, probably some of you all would have felt it as well, but the dwarves, especially knowing their earth, would have been much more attuned to that earthquake and probably been a bit of maybe more of an alarm bell in Osiris's head about eating this morning.
Okay. So, yeah, he would be finishing up at the forge, kind of packing his gear and saying goodbye to his family.
Okay. Very cool. Okay. And how about Aristoan?
Okay,
Sure.
so
What do you think? Where would she be? Or he be?
he would be, at the time when getting the message, he'd be at home, having been long since retired, and living out in his best life, doing whatever he wanted to do. When he gets this message, it takes him back to a much older time, a much earlier time in history, and he kind of gets that spark to oh, it's game time. The get up and go has lit up underneath him. On day 1 of his 30, he immediately begins to prepare. And by day 15, he's already started off on his journey, preparing himself in solitude before the chaos begins.
Okay. So then with that, we will head to the moment. Essentially, all of you would at the same time collectively, you wouldn't pass out or anything, but essentially, just one moment you blink, and then when you open your eyes, you're in a completely different place. You're on what looks to be the courtyard of a large temple on top of a mountain. And this is actually what you'd be looking at here. Did that come through? Can everyone see that? Or at least on the forge thingy? People on there?
No, we have a token, but if you go to the scene, you can click token vision and uncheck that box, and we can all see it. Unless it's a battle map, then you don't want to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, that's easy now.
Yep.
Hey.
There you go.
All right. So you see essentially, this temple built into the side of this mountain. And this is a large peak. This is probably, if you look over the side a little bit, you can feel like you almost might be able to see Middle Earth from here. Is how large this mountain is. But you are across the sea now, and you know that you are in Valinor. And you all arrive, ringing in your ears a little bit, blinking, and just the shock of it. You see 7 large spires going into the sky, but still the peak of the mountain stretches even further. Looking to the east, you see a beautiful open bay of TTRPG, and you also then see a large island in the middle that looks teeming with activity. To the north and the south, you see a long mountain range, and it pretty much dwarfs right between a long open grass field, and then the ocean to your east. This is clearly made to keep people out, this large mountain range. Whether it was created by the gods to do so, or perhaps just a wall to block off that of Valinor itself, and this tranquil plains of heaven almost. The courtyard itself is white marble. You see steps leading down, but they also lead down straight into a solid rock wall. And that's a little confusing to look at first, but as you kind of look around, you see each other. If we want, we can have everyone kind of give a little brief description of their characters. If you want to start, let's go ahead and start with Eldar again.
Well, he's obviously an elf, you could tell, but he's got more of the color green seems to be radiating from him a little bit, but also but in a misty sense. His eyes are more star pointed, and what did I have him on? Hold on one second. Okay, he is dressed in leather armor, and that's just basically his description. Oh wait, hold on, I have more.
That's okay, man.
I'm sorry, no, because he's 6 foot tall. I should say his hair is white, just to let you know.
All right, let's move on down to Kustig.
All right, here we go. So I'm Kustig of Umbar. My nickname's, I'm a ship captain. Umbar's a coastal city that's what they do. It's a shipping area. Where we are, I might actually know where we are just from seeing the water there, because it's legitimately right across the sea from Umbar.
You would not know, because this is the Undying Lands. No man has set foot here before.
No, but I mean, I would have sailed out far enough to know the stories of what lies beyond there. One of my ancestors is an Arion, who's the brother of Elendil, son, who's Aragorn's uncle. So I do come from that line, but I've kind of pushed the mainland away from me after what happened with the Battle of the One Ring. I just want to stay away. So I see myself as the first among equals there, almost the harbor master. I sort of run a tavern and live above it. I live extremely well. I'm well off. I dress that way, but I don't act that way. So I'm a tall, swarthy guy with shorter hair, which is kind of weird for the time for the age and the style. But again, kind of just keeping away from the mainland feel. I have some family relics. One of them being the rapier that I use. It's just very ornate. Think of Galadriel's sword, very sleek, light color. I also have a palantir. I don't know the significance of it. It's just, to me, it's a very pretty family heirloom that I have. However, it sings to me. I hear this music that comes from it all the time, and so this is totally above the table. It's I can hear the Ayulindale, the actual song of the gods. I don't know that. I don't know that's what it is. It's just this pretty thing that I hear from this. And Aaron's gonna do whatever he's gonna do with that to mess with me later. And that's actually how I get summoned, is I hear the call from this. So that's why I believe it. This is something I've always listened to and heard and loved since I'd come home to this warm, beautiful song. And that's just how it would go for me. My cousin, Kalorn, is my first mate. We're like brothers. He has a family, I don't. But they're sort of my family by proxy. So when I would have left, it would have been saying goodbye to all of them. Then he would have started to run in my stead. And yeah, that's me.
What do you look like?
I'm 6 feet tall, a swarthier look, so a little more tan. Like I said, shorter, dark hair, thick, dark hair, facial hair, but not a long beard. Very well kept. Dress would be that of what you might expect a ship captain to wear, kind of Captain Hookish, but just not as gilded, with that long draped coat, nice boots, stuff like that. And would 100% be, you would see that I am armed. I'd have two daggers up front, like two dueling pistols, and then I'd have my rapier to the side, just ready to go. But I'm a super jovial character. That's the other thing. Like, imagine if you came into the tavern, I might buy everybody around. I'd be at the center of the table cheersing everybody. Just very Disney cartoonish personality.
Cool. All right. How about Serdar?
Serdar, he rather tall. You can very obviously tell that he's elven. He has was probably at one point in time blonde, but is more running on the kind of white color hair, either maybe from age or just from being out in the sun and such things was long. One of the big, easily noticeable things is he kind of keeps his head down a little bit, especially in the presence of there being other elves here. But you do see that there are visible scars and wounds across the visible portions of his skin. He is wearing armor and such. He does look armed. A lot of his things look very simple. His colors look very foresty. You do notice that on places like his wrists and legs, you do see like loosely wrapped cloth, almost like cloth bandages. And they don't look dirty, but they look as though they've been heavily used and washed repeatedly. Like I said, he just kind of, you noticeably see that he kind of keeps his head down and stays a little bit off to the side of anyone else. He's kind of quiet.
Very cool. All right, how about Clove?
So, Clove is their typical, like, maybe like 3-foot tall hobbit. She kind of looks a lot like the picture. She just looks, like a kind. She's maybe, I don't know, mid to late 30s, because hobbits live a little bit longer. So mid to late 30s. She's got this like flowing red hair that she kind of always will like kind of bunch up, never in like a ponytail. It's always like down her back, but bunched up away from her face. She's got freckles all over her face. Has like dark green eyes. Always just has one of those faces where you're like, oh, you just kind of look like a happy person, like hobbits do. She wears a lot of like the natural colors as well, being a ranger, the reds and the browns, a lot of furs and things as like accents. And she has, I'm sure for other people it might be classified as like a short bow, but her being a hobbit, it's a long bow for her. So she has a long bow that she uses. And always has like a little dagger on her hips. She's a kind, kind of go with the flow, can be snarky at times, appreciates, good food, good humor, good company kind of character. Does always had like heard the stories of the other hobbits being like the heroes, but fully believes it was one of those, unlike how like the hobbits tell their stories of like, oh, heroism isn't thrust upon you, what you do makes you a hero. She's like, no, they were like born to be heroes. This wasn't just a random hobbit on a random circumstance who became a hero. She was like, no, they were always destined to be heroes. So like no other hobbits have ever been a hero. So she knows them, she respects them, she likes the story, but which is why she kind of thought this was more just like a fantasy dream rather than like a reality, because she doesn't actually think that another hobbit will like do something amazing because she's from the Shire and they're all kind of homebodies. So she is going to be very surprised that this actually panned out to be a real thing.
Imagine if she's looking around, she'd pinch herself.
A little bit. She's met some of the other races that have like come through, and she's met a couple in like trading aspects. Probably elves would be the one she's the most familiar with, but I doubt, unless dwarves or anything are coming to the Shire, I doubt she's really met any of the other races much.
She probably know men pretty well.
Yes. Men and elves, but that's maybe the occasional elf. It probably goes men, elves, dwarves way down here.
Yeah, very cool. Aristoan, what do we see when we look at Aristoan?
Right. So when you see him, he's on the older side, looks pretty worn, just from years of life, always kind of being in the mix of it. He's an elf with gray long hair, a beard a little bit, almost looks like he's lived a long, like, troubled life. He's like shrouded in robes, looks really mysterious. He has piercing blue eyes, but he still has like a nice like dark mystique about him. He's really quiet. and reserved. Looks really serious and can be intimidating to others just from how serious he presents himself. He moves like slowly but gracefully, and kind of wears like dark gray, dark green type of clothing and robes. Kind of sticks to the more earthy, natural tones.
Very cool. Osiris.
Andy, you're muted.
Sorry.
There you go.
I'm muted. Osiris will just be looking rather humble, I would say. He looks like a stockier dwarf, gray hair, gray beard, but wearing some sort of like larger cloak. The only thing visible would be, the larger axe that he's carrying, that he's kind of leaning on, almost like a walking stick. And beneath the open cloak, you can see his armor that looks pretty customized, but it is a basic chain type of mail there, and the rest of it is kind of covered by his cloak that he wears. And you can tell because the stockiness comes out in different bulges of the cloak everywhere. And so, his initial look makes him look like a vagabond almost, if it weren't for some of the mail armor kind of poking out. But yeah, he keeps most of it hidden. And he does have a very serious face, especially looking around, kind of taking in the scene, and then looking over and seeing mostly elves, and looking over whatever this creature might be, that is scarred. Because if I'm not mistaken, John, you are not exactly an elf, correct?
I do look elf on the outside. To anything you would see, I just look a little paler, a little more beat up, a little more ragged, I would say. But he's elf.
Yeah, I think Osiris's eyes would stop kind of and look at that just for a moment, and then kind of lock eyes with Orsto and straight face walk over and just stare. I think it's been a long time. You can't say anything to an old friend? You can't reach out? This is how I have to meet you.
I think you're muted, John. There you go.
Who are you
wait,
talking to?
was that to
Were you
me?
talking to John or Cherie's character?
No, Cherie's character.
Okay, that's what I was
Okay,
thinking.
Stolen.
Cherie's muted, so if she's responding, we can't hear her.
Oh, I thought he was talking to John. I'm so sorry.
No, I would look and I'd stop, and then of course I'd lock eyes with Orsto and say,
And say what?
oh, yeah, basically I just said, you haven't reached out to an old friend. Why is that? The gist of it.
Okay, so his otherwise hardened, serious face breaks out into a huge, goopy smile and reaches forward to embrace you. Says, "Old friend, forgive me."
And he'll smile, and he'll embrace the hug, and he'll kind of like wipe the serious or the smile off his face back to a serious look. Do you invite these fuckers?
I didn't invite them.
Your kin, not mine. Except that little one. That's a wee little one, pointing
Little
towards
baby
Flo.
over there.
Me?
Aye,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on the taller side for my family.
you're shorter than I am, so you're still a wee one. I won't get this opportunity much. As he looks up towards the elves.
Yeah.
All right.
Orstoin chuckles over the sight over the halfling. The little baby.
All right.
How
Well,
about-
I guess I'll break the ice here. How about you?
I was asked to come here.
Zerador would kind of,
I will be back.
well,
Who
actually,
asked
I
you to
guess
come here?
My Palantir.
I've got one question for you.
What's that?
How much does a polar bear weigh?
I don't know.
Enough to break the ice. Osiris, pleasure to meet you.
Acoustic, how are you? How'd you get? What brought you here? I just woke up here.
Well, I had time to prepare, but
As did I.
heard a voice inside my head. Unnatural-like.
It did sound rather different,
And what about you,
Like
the
a
ugly
voice?
one?
like a whisper.
I'm assuming you're gesturing in my direction.
Yep.
Zerador would look probably confused. Actually, he would look very confused. He would assume that you're trying to say something to him, but he doesn't know what it is.
All right.
You would see a look of confusion. Like, you would see he's just kind of like...
Is this one a deaf?
You would see a little bit of hesitation, but he would lean a little bit towards one of the other elves.
So I would start speaking Elvish and ask Osiris his question of you.
He would then nod and be like, yes.
And then I look down at Osiris and go, I got you, bud.
The voice told me that I should prepare, and well, here I am.
All right.
I tell Osiris that.
I guess I'll have to ask the same of the other ugly one.
The other ugly one?
That's right, pointed at you.
Yeah, I figured.
Hey.
No,
Not
my name is Eldar. Was in Rivendell, and now I'm here. But here, to be summoned here, something important must be happening.
And that's actually a perfect moment. As you say that, you all see coming out of where the steps leading down, seemingly from the mountain, meets this cliff face. You see a figure enter through it, and it's a blinding white light, about 12 feet tall. And as your eyes focus in on it, you notice it's not light or a figure, it's a woman. Or at least she appears to be a woman. Her skin's fair, hair silver, flowing in a tied length, ponytail behind her back. The elves would probably notice that this is Ilmari. She's the Maya of Varda, the goddess of wisdom and love. Next to her, you see walking out's a shorter-looking man. He's about maybe 8 feet tall, still very tall, dripping water from his hands and his feet, but it seems to evaporate as soon as it hits the ground. He walks in, they're speaking to each other, they ignore you, walk right past you. Next comes out a raven-haired, beautiful, her eyes sparkling platinum. She wears nothing but a simple white cloth garment for... Still trying to remember his name. Kustig, you see this, and it's clearly the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. You wonder, this must be truly Arwen Evenstar, the one who wedded to King Alessar in the flesh. And as you're watching, you kind of almost whisper under your breath about it. Serdor, you would notice exactly who this is. This is Melian, the mother of Luthien, and she was once the queen of Doria. So you're very familiar with who this is. But you're so kind of caught up looking at her beauty, you miss that the sunken creases of her eyes. She looks like she's been crying. Behind her comes out this behemoth-sized hound. He easily stands 6 feet tall on all four of its legs. Its fur looks matted and kind of coarse, black as midnight. As he walks past you, he looks each of you up and down. At this point, I'm going to ask everyone to make a charisma saving throw for me.
Would Osiris know that these are Valar?
He would, I mean, from the size of them, even for him, they're very large. They look as if they're not Valar themselves, they are Maya. So they're like Sauron, they're like Gandalf. They appear very godly, though. These ones do look like you might mistake them for the gods themselves.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as they came out before they had a chance to walk past, Osiris probably would have took a knee and bowed his head.
Same thing. I was going to say the same thing as soon as you said that. As soon as I say that under my breath, I say her name, and then I'm like, oh shit, and I get down on one knee. And I rolled my charisma save, but it's going to be in D&D Beyond because I didn't load anything else. So
oof, that's pretty on par. I'd like to point that out. Even Serdor, upon seeing the ones he for sure would recognize, still he would absolutely drop to a knee. Still,
yeah, I would know who I would also I would bow.
All be very familiar with this.
Yeah, I would bow as well.
Aristotle would definitely have bowed.
Yeah, Aristotle, and you would know exactly who these are as well.
Also, I will message you separately, Aaron.
Oh,
right now.
that's right. Hang on. I think you've got to go in and claim.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily know how many Serdor would just know offhand, but the ones he did know would absolutely.
I sent you the campaign link, and then you just go in and you'll claim Aristoan.
I can't believe my first roll of campaign was a 1, though. I mean, it's on par, but nice.
Yeah, it is so accurate. It's ridiculous.
That's all good. You guys are in the presence of gods. Of course, you're not going to roll that.
You can only go up from here, Clint. Remember that.
I rolled 22 on par.
Nice.
That is also true.
Pretty neutral for me, right in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Where
all
did you
good.
send it to me?
I sent it in the Zoom chat. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Or there
that
is
was for
one in
the
the chat
DM.
room
That's
on
okay.
Discord.
Let's see. Put your kids away, so I'll just go ahead and roll with 4 there. Not great. That's okay.
Not great. Hey, it happens.
And so, okay, yeah. Or Sheree, do you think you're getting it?
yeah, it's trying.
Okay, that's cool. Don't worry about it. Cool.
It said
Okay,
it's already in another campaign.
that's bizarre. Does it pull up the COS one?
Yeah.
And then all the way at the bottom, you should have unassigned characters or restoring. Just try and claim them, and it says it's already in another. There we go. I think you got it.
I see it, but it's not letting me like choose it. I'll be honest.
I
Let me
think it
go
might have
back
worked.
and
Try
play
just
again.
going to the actual player sheet yourself. Try that. I think it went through. It just might not be reloading on that side for you.
Oh yes, here we are. And you said
Charisma saving throw, please.
charisma saving throw. Here I go, big boy. 18.
Pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Pretty good rolls. Well, for some of you. So as you guys kind of almost look up, Osiris, when you look up, you see the snout of this large wolfhound. And I mean, like, its jaws are about as big as your head. And it kind of just gives you a sniff, almost nods, and then follows behind the others into the temple itself. Do you guys stay waiting out here, or do you follow?
If the temple doors are open, I would definitely follow.
I would wait just a moment to make sure there's nothing else coming from the staircase. And then would stand up and kind of gesture. I think that was an invitation.
Looking skeptical and guarded, Orstone follows suit, looking over his shoulder and behind him, trying to take it all in at once.
And as you guys do begin to approach, it's about 20 feet of staircase to get into the temple itself. As you begin to approach the stairs, you hear a crack of lightning and thunder, and in front of you then is standing what looks to be a 12-foot tall elf, long blonde hair that's braided and looped around, almost in like the shape of a crown, kind of. Standing there in what has to be mithril plate mail, completely head to shoulders. He has a large sword on his waist. And as he looks over each of you, he says, "Come, it is time to begin." Holds the door open, waiting for you guys to pass.
And like, as Osiris walks by, he'll just like point and look over at the rest of them. Mithril.
Yeah,
this is probably the most mithril any of you have ever seen. And the fact that it's plate armor it pretty much reflects the sun. Really, you almost can't look directly at it.
I passed through the doorway.
Theodore would pass through, but he would keep his head low.
Steve, how do you say your character's name?
Acoustic.
What?
Acoustic.
Acoustic. Yeah, I would probably point and say Smithrow out loud to everyone, but then whisper to Acoustic, "He's still ugly though."
Be nice.
And as you guys do approach, you see sitting in a large circle. This is a massive room. You imagine this takes up quite a bit of inside of the peak itself. Inside, it's all immaculate white marble everywhere. And as you walk into the large open area, you see 14 chairs raised. And then smaller chairs, kind of like the Throne of Gondor, really, is what you're going to be looking at. And as you walk in, you see many of them are already seated at the smaller chair at the bottom of the stair of each throne. And as you walk in, Ianwe takes his seat in the middle. Next to him, Ilmari is sitting waiting, her legs crossed. Osi, the one who is dripping water, still looks very damp. He's sitting on the other side of Ianwe.
Moist.
Melion takes one near the very end of the right of the crescent where the circle is. And then Gorgamon, the large hound, he sits down right next to her. As you guys approach, you notice someone walk from the opposite side and from an exterior temple doorway. And as you walk in, you see it is Elrond, half-elf. So all of the elves, you would all know who he is. Very, very famous. Dwarves also probably would, Osiris would know who he is as well. Clove and Acoustic, you might know of him, but you wouldn't have known he would have left centuries before you were born.
But I mean, he's a friend of my family lineage. I'd know the stories, so.
Yeah, that's true. So as you approach the daises, Elrond comes and sits right next to Melion. So, this is what the Valar have sent us. This is why they gathered us after millennia to consult with this rabble. Ossi spits down next to his chair, looking over each of you. Come, Ossi. All of us were spoken to and given our instructions. Except the Onway, we know what we must ask each of them to do, so that we may do our part as well. We must find the man. We must keep the door of night closed. Amare looks over towards the Onway, who stands up again, and he pulls out a large chest. We might as well begin. Like any strategy, we must find our first strength, and then our weakness before we strike. The bejeweled broadsword at his waist blinks kind of as he adjusts it. No, Melion says slowly, kind of sadness in her voice, but it also has a very musical quality to it. But before she begins speaking, you hear a large roar from Gorgamoth, the hound, sitting next to her. We must find why we are here. And he's going to get up, and he'll walk over, looking each of you up and down again. And as he does that, he's going to stop right in front of Aristoan. Aristoan, give me a Constitution saving throw, please. Sure, did you hear me?
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll give me a Constitution saving throw as Gorgamoth, this large 6-foot hound, stops in front of you.
Exciting. 12.
Okay. He's going to sniff at the side of your face, and then he will walk back over towards Melion, sit down, and nod.
Okay.
He'll come back around. He'll go behind where the little throne is, next to Melion, where Elrond is, and he will pull a chest with his teeth and bring it towards you. Mandos has seen Dagadorov, and you hear this in your mind as the hound speaks to you telepathically. The doom of this world is upon us. Manwë has disappeared. He is beyond the sight of even the Valar for the first time since Ada came to be. This council has been called for the prophecies of the Door of Night that must be fulfilled. Ere Morgoth be released upon this world and consume all, you have been chosen by the Valar to fight on their behalf in this war. Your fellowship may be all that stops this world from destruction, as we Maya cannot leave Valinor until Angmar rises from the shadow of Ancalagon once more. When Sauron was defeated, our kind was bound to these shores. When the One Ring was destroyed, the balance was upset. Just as the balance in Valinor is kept in check by we and by others, Sauron's fall created a void in Middle-earth. A chain of events has started that will lead to Morgoth filling that void, unless you stop it. And the hound will step back slowly from the chest and give a nod to Aristoan. Do you open the chest?
Looking around at everybody else, he looks down very solemnly and cautiously opens the chest, kind of off to the side in case anything jumps out.
Don't have to make a dexterity saving throw, don't worry. Inside, you see 4 different items, all set neatly in each corner of the chest. One looks to be like a sash that goes like around your neck a little bit, more like a long scarf. It's a deep blue cut on one side, and on the other side, it's black. You also see what looks to be just a normal satchel, maybe about a foot by foot wide, but it looks like a very normal average bag. You also see a beautifully carved stark white horn, and it looks to be a unicorn. It has runes cut into each side in like an iridescent color that kind of switches the light hits it. And then you see what looks to be a normal piece of wood. You can tell it's a wand of some kind, but otherwise it's just a very dark brown, twisted a little bit, but it looks also relatively small. Ianwe stands up at this moment and says, each of you will be given a gift from us, a boon, if you will, to help you in this coming war. But we cannot give them all to you, so you may choose 2 each. Does Aristoan take any of them?
Oristoan takes the horn with the runes and then pauses to inspect it and allows others to make their choice.
Okay, well, you and I might not have been clear. This is your chest, so you
just
can choose 2 of the items if you want, and you can always exchange these items too above table. You're not going to be bound to these, each of you, but you get to choose from the 4 you want. So.
Okay. So it was the horn. I'm sorry, I heard that and I was like, done,
Sure.
got that one.
There's
it was the
also
horn.
what looks to be a long scarf that is blue on one side and black on the other.
And there was a
There's
satchel.
what looks to be a normal bag or satchel, yep. And then there's also a small wand of dark brown wood.
gonna go for the wand.
If you want to think about it, you can. We can move on. You don't have to pick right now.
No, he's gonna choose the horn and the wand.
Okay. And with that, as you pick those up, Gorgamoth pulls the chest back with him. After that, who comes up next? Ilmari is going to stand up and walk over to you. Okay. I'm sorry, Andy, I missed that. Got too much stuff open.
Curse of being a DM, having too much
I
shit
know,
open
right?
at one time.
Osiris, you notice
Omari's me.
another elf walk in as well. And all the elves would know who this is as well. This is Glorfindel. He's an elf lord of quite large repute. You see he's also wearing a full set of plate armor. He has a long spear in his hands. He walks over to Osiris, looks you up and down, goes, "I've fought in blood with dwarves before. It will be an honor to do so again." And he pulls the chest over and lays it at your feet as well. Do you open it?
Yeah, he'll bend down to open it, but then he'll look up. And before he opens, with the utmost respect, what are we doing here?
And Glorfindel will look kind of back to Eonway, who looks over to Elrond, and Elrond will be the one who speaks. And he goes, "You must represent the Valar in the ways we cannot. We cannot go back to Middle-earth. You can. Several of the locks of the door have been broken, allowing a crack to open. With that, the continent... I can't remember the name. Anyway, the continent of... Fuck me. Sorry.
That's a cool continent, though.
Yeah.
I know.
Balerion. I kept wanting to say the sea. The continent of Balerion has risen from the sea once more. If you want to see what happens when the Valar do what you were hoping they can do, you only need to look and see what happened on that continent. Some of you might remember as well, as he looks over each of the elves. Several of the locks have been broken. Sauron's defeat was but the first. Alorin and the Istari were not to interfere in the struggle against Sauron. However, we cannot let Morgoth go through once again if we want to have this world remain as it is. The Valar have intervened to bring you here. They cannot intervene to stop Morgoth without causing much more damage and destruction. The only way we know to relock the doors will be with, and you see he looks down at his finger, and there is a golden band with a blue sapphire on it. The rings that Sauron made. When he destroyed the One Ring, he began weakening the seals. We believe that by reuniting all of the rings that he forged, perhaps we can use their powers to lock the doors once and for all. Your quest will be to find these other rings. We have an idea where some of them are. We have some of them here, but we don't know if this plan will succeed. That will be up to you.
He'll finish opening the chest and look inside.
And the music at the right time.
Inside, you only see 3 items. The fourth you see is the spear that Glorfindel's holding. He lays it next to the chest. In the chest, you see a gleaming set of breastplate armor. And it's a metal, not like mithril. It seems to be some type of alloy of it. But you know it's something that you don't think you as a dwarf, too. You haven't seen the way the light reflects off of it. It looks like it's still hot coming out of the forge. You also see a stud earring with an aquamarine gem on it. And you also then see a length of wrought iron chains that look to be about 30 feet long. And then the spear itself is pretty large. It's probably about 5.5 feet long. The scythe on the end of it has runes etched into it in Elven. But otherwise, it looks very well made.
I think he'll take his time and pick up each one individually and kind of, stare at it for a bit while you move on.
Okay. With Glorfindel having then kind of watched you a little bit, we will move to Melian, the one who looks rather sad. She will step forward, slowly walking to... he'll walk over to... she'll walk over to Serdor. She'll look you up and down. Do you meet her gaze?
You kind of see... Others would see him kind of like... He's looking down, and you kind of see that he looks up momentarily. He wants to, but he doesn't feel right. So he kind of keeps his gaze downward for the most part. Like, he's showing attentiveness, but...
And she'll kind of pick up on that you're a little, maybe not nervous, but almost kind of feeling like you don't want the attention. She'll reach behind her back and pull a chest. This one's a little bit smaller. but she lays it right in front of you and retreats back to her chair.
Okay. He would cautiously, drop to a knee and open it and see what's.
Yeah, and as you look in, you see what looks to be like bone white stitched armor. It's kind of almost just like more a little leather jerkin more than actual armor, but it's bone white, and it looks to have like straps that tighten around your shoulders. You also see a ring in there. This ring has a golden band with a blue emerald, or I'm sorry, not blue, a green emerald and a spot on it. You also then see a necklace in there. It's a golden loop, and it has 6 earrings on each of it. And you also see a dagger in there, very well made, in a red holster, and that's about it. That's what you get from it so far.
Okay. I think he would probably do similar to the elf, as he would really look at them and investigate them. He's got years and years of life, and he's
Osiris, give me a perception check.
Yeah, he would very much just be observing them carefully, reverently, because these are a gift. Ooh, hey, look at that shit.
Osiris, you see this ring in Ceridor's chest, and you know it's a ring of the dwarves. It was one of the dwarven rings of power.
Very fucking cool.
As Ceridor and Osiris are kind of looking over, Aussie rises up, and he is pulling a satchel that looks to be soaked behind him, and he throws it at Kustig's feet. Enough of this, daddy. You! And he'll poke his finger into your chest, summons a trident that then like materializes out of water in his hands, slams it to the ground in front of you, and leaves the bag as well.
Over it, and then I open the bag, but I do it with like an icky face because it's all wet and gross.
You like seawater, you know what this is. In the bag, you see a tattered and shredded cloak, what looks to be made of cloth. It seems wet, but it doesn't drip water. There's a golden chain where the clasp would be. You see a stoppered flask, and it sloshes with liquid. You see the trident in front of you as well. This looks to be made like a clear liquid when it's materialized. It has a golden chain looped between the 3 spikes of it. And then you also see a single black crystal.
So when the trident is, if I were to like go to just hold it before and have it not materialize, how big would it be?
It's probably about 6 feet tall.
Okay. I mean, I'm for sure taking that. Are you kidding me? That and the cloak.
The cloak, okay. Derp. Brain not working. All right. And then as Aussie kind of like nods, he'll pick up the sack and walk back towards the chair. Ilmari will look towards Yanwei, who kind of like
and
shrugs.
Hold on real quick, just for me. What's his name? My
Aussie.
god's name?
Osse. He is a Maya of Olmo, who is the god of the sea.
Very cool. Thank you.
And then lastly, we will have Jess is approached by Elrond, actually. And as he approaches you, he will drop a what seems to be an intricate wooden chest. Then he'll look you up and down. I've met quite a few hobbits in my time. I promise you, the god Valar Arum, he will look kindly on yours, and he'll leave it at your feet.
You said lastly, but don't forget about me.
That's true. I did not forget about you, and because I think Jess put your kids to bed, I will switch to you as soon as I find you. Okay, there we are. You watch as someone else enters the chamber, and this one seems to be like Melion, very pale, black hair, but his is a little cropped shorter, and he seems to kind of almost just walk through the wall. And as he does, he's carrying a satchel over his shoulder, and you would know. Actually, give me a history check. I think you'd know who this is, but let's just have some fun with it.
All right, give me a second. Oh, where the fuck is history? I suck.
That's okay.
Okay.
You don't
Sorry, I'm
know
back.
who this is, and that's okay, Jess. Yeah, no worries. You don't know exactly who this is, but you know there is a feeling of quiet coming from him, solemnity, almost maybe a little bit of loneliness. And he'll look you up and down and just nod. He says, "Welcome. I shall give you from the Lord of the Moon, Tilion." And as he lays down the chest at your feet, you open it and you look and you see what looks to be small green spheres. There's 4 of them. They look to have spilled out of a little pouch. There's also a cloak in there. It's made of viridian silk. Has a texture of like fallen leaves as you put your fingers on it. There's also a crescent-shaped pendant of black that has a small red, like seemingly red glowing light in it. There's also a black ring with 3 diamonds set into the metal, and that's it.
So, question though, we don't get a chance to know what any of these do. We're just picking, correct?
You could ask him if you want.
Okay. I nod and smile and say, "Is there any way to tell me what any of these do?"
He'll look down at you, kind of kneel, and he's about 12 feet tall, so when he kneels, he kind of almost gets to your eyesight level.
Yeah, I gotcha.
He points down at the small green spheres. He says, those are the spheres of Melion, but each have a bead of magic in them that would, when you throw it, they can explode, causing people to have to be thrown back. Cloak of Doriath, it'll keep you hidden. It'll help you react to certain poisons, and it'll help you traverse any type. The ring, I'm not sure. That one I'm not too aware of. It looks to be each of the diamonds in it maybe has a type of spell in itself. And as for the Pariat, that will help save your life.
Gotcha. All right, I take the ring and I'll take the cloak, and I thank him.
He'll stand up and he'll go sit on the other side of where Melion is, so he'll be on the far left side now. As we turn towards Clove, you hear the doors bang open behind you. In strides another elf. This one wearing deep blue armor that looks immaculate, and he strides past all of you and almost scowls as he looks down at you all. He walks straight towards Yanwei and puts out his hand, and Yanwei reaches into his breastplate and he pulls out a silver ring with a deep ruby inlay. Tarian, you're late, hands it to him. Tarian looks over all of you and he goes, this is what the Valar chose, really? This rabble shakes his head and looks over towards Elrond. You're gonna have your work cut out for you on this one. And then the last one we have here, Elrond will approach Clove carrying a bag as well. He'll lay it at her feet and gently open the strings on it, looking over his, I've met many of the small folk in my time. If you're half of what they are, we'll be in good hands. As he opens the bag for you, you see inside, if I can find the right thing. Where the hell are you? There you are. There is a curved bow, has etchings and carvings all throughout the wood. You see a pair of boots, look like they're made of green mist. You see what looks to be, it looks out like a chainmail shirt that looks to have been cast out of solid gold. If you inspect it further, you can see they're actually scales, dragon scales. And then there's a leather cord with a crystal vial in it, and it has a single golden drop in it.
I think there's been a mistake. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I'm not special like some of these people seem to be.
All right, little one. We all think that until we don't. I've met many of your kind, and they all feel the same way, that the world's too big for them. But sometimes we need the little ones to remind us that the world is just the world.
I've heard the stories of them, of Frodo and Sam and Merry.
You may yet meet them.
But they were born to be great. They were heroes. Like,
I don't think they would agree with you. They were just put in a situation and followed their hearts.
If you really think I'm supposed to be here, do you have any advice on what I should take? She like kind of whispers it to him a little bit.
And he'll laugh a little bit. And as he does, he kind of like looks down at his ring and he looks into the blue sapphire and starts to kind of almost hold his hand over each item. He lifts the one with the crystal vial on it. Does this one perhaps bring some luck that the halflings usually are pretty bountiful of? He won't touch the bow. He'll look down and go, this is the oath bow of Fëanor, one of the greatest elven-smiths of our kind.
Like this is bow?
Unfortunately, Fëanor, well, he became obsessed with his creations, the Silmarils, and became so greedy over them that he used this bow to slay some of his kin. He'll touch the boots and go, these were once a friend of mine, Celeborn's, the master of Lorien. They will keep you safe and fast. And then he'll touch the scales and go, and these were made from the corpse of Glaurung the Golden. It's a mastercraft of our elvish workmanship, and it's seen use.
Well, I will endeavor to be just as good of an owner as your friend, so she'll take the boots, and maybe this bow could have a better story this time and have a happier ending than it sounds like it had a beginning. And she'll take the bow.
And as Elrond will scoop up the rest, he'll look over towards Serdor and Osiris, and he'll kind of touch his ring. Is there any questions from your gods that I can answer you?
I trust your judgment. But I happen to notice that a ring of my kin is in the hands of an elf.
Elrond will kind of look at you, and then he'll look over towards Tarian, who was given the ring by Anwe. And then he'll look towards Serdor. Well, they were made for your kin. They aren't yours.
He'll bow his head. He'll pick up the chain and the breastplate.
And Serdor is going to take the armor and the ring.
Okay.
And then, if like nothing immediately happens, he would, like I said, he was very careful with everything. He takes those, and then he would place the box closed. And then, if he's able, he's going to approach and return the box in front of his giftor.
Cool. Yeah. She'll like nod and wave a finger, and the chest disappears in front of you. With that, I'll say let's take 10-minute break. Come back 5 minutes to 9. Let everyone get something to drink.
Cool deal.
Sounds good.
All right,
Alright.
be back.
Right. So as we come back into the scene here, I will say, Serdor, when you pick up the ring, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, lovely.
Damn, already.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's not bad.
Oh.
DC was 15, so that's pretty good.
Hey, I'll take it.
Okay, so that's good. I'll remember that for when you attune to it later. All right. So as the Maya all kind of take their seats in front of these thrones, Elrond will stand up and begin to address all of you once more. When the One Ring was destroyed in Orodruin by the creature Smeagol, we thought the power of the Elven Rings, and he kind of holds up his ring, were severed. It was not until our voyage back to the Undying Lands with the Ring Bearers, Olorin, Galadriel, and myself, that we began to feel some hint of their power to return. We feared they may have some connection to Sauron still, but as we had passed the Veil already, we were unable to return to Middle-earth. When the White Council attacked Sauron at Dol Guldur, we were able to retrieve 2 of the remaining Dwarven Rings, and he'll look towards Serdor, and then he'll nod towards Tarian as well, who kind of took one of the empty chairs and just has like his leg over it. Very, very disrespectful towards the gods. Upon our arrival from the Grey Havens, Gandalf, Galadriel, and I took our concerns to Manwë. He had already disappeared. Ianwe and Ilmari heard our story, and upon Varda's counsel, we thought to split the 3 Elven Rings amongst the remaining Valar, assuming their power would be shielded and perhaps prevent Morgoth from opening the door further. We no longer believe that to be possible. If enough seals fail, Morgoth will be able to break free and otherwise corrupt the final locks into break. Indeed, so your first step of this task will be to find either Galadriel or Gandalf. We must get their rings. We must find the remaining Dwarven Rings. And the 9. We know the 9 are still in Middle-earth. Galadriel has been missing in the woods of Arom to the west for weeks. No one's heard from her. Celeborn, her husband, went looking after her, and he is also, unfortunately, gone missing. She had Nenya, the Ring of Adamant, in her possession. Gandalf was last seen in the woods of Nienna to the south. He was with a few hobbits at the time. You may know of them. And he'll kind of wink at Clove. He was wearing Narya, the Ring of Fire. Yeah, my ring. Well, I only hope it's not too late to find the others. There have been incidents from the door being opened. Monsters. Things follow the Orcs. Now roam not just Middle-earth and Beleriand, but also Arda. Orom hunts them where he can, but we do believe that there is danger on the road. He'll kind of look between all of you.
So we have to collect. How many Dwarven Wings were there? They have 2 so far?
Right now you have the 2 Dwarven ones split between.
Yeah, that's cool. And then one that Elrond has for elves.
Yep.
So you got 3, 7. Was there 16 ring or 19 rings?
Yes.
I'm not doing the 1 ring. So
well, the Rings of Power. There are other rings, of course, but yeah.
No, but I mean Rings of Power. There's 19, so we have to go find what would you say? We got to find 16 more. Okay.
We believe with uniting all of these rings, we can seal the Door of Night forever, with the last of Sauron's malice and sorcery that Morgoth helped instill in him and create. We believe can hopefully prevent what is coming. Taran will kind of stand up and just stretch, and he'll go, all right, well, what are you losers going to go after? Gandalf or Galadriel?
I try to keep up on notes. Where was Galadriel and Celeborn missing?
They were missing in the woods of Arom to the west, in which I can show you. Actually, here, we'll do this because they give you a map.
Gandalf was south.
Yep.
So yeah, basically Gandalf's going to be south here-ish in these wooded areas. You guys are here on Tanaquetal right now.
Okay.
And Galadriel was to the woods to the west this way. We will not send you, of course, without aid. Just these boons are some. But, and Elrond will look, or Eonway looks behind where the thrones are, and you see a doorway that looks to be made of solid stone. Elven runes are written on what looks to be an arch. Through here, we will allow you to visit our elven city of Valmar. This is the capital of Valinor, and that's going to be right around here. Tyrion Valmar. Well, Tyrion's the river, I'm sorry. Valmar is the city here. We'll give you some gold to go buy any provisions you may need, but the road will be long. And Tyrion will just kind of like look at you guys expectantly, rather bored, but he understands you guys might want to discuss where you would like to go first. But otherwise, you see the Maya themselves start to rise. Ossie leaves. He just fucks off right back through the front door. Eonway kind of sits and keeps talking with Tyrion a little bit. Elrond keeps to the side as well. Melian's just sitting there petting Gorgoroth, who's just kind of snoozing a little bit. But otherwise, it seems to kind of have adjourned this little council meeting to allow you guys to discuss what you would like to do first.
Eldar speaks up. He says, both Galadriel and Gandalf, I have fought with them in many battles. They are both needed for this mission, I would say. Which one's closer? Do we know which one's closer, the west or the south? For us right now?
From where you guys will be in Valmar, closest would be Galadriel.
Okay. Then that is simply his suggestion, is to go after Galadriel just because it's closer.
And Elrond kind of like approaches. You guys are kind of maybe a little huddled up discussing, trying to think of what the best option is, and nod towards the archway behind the thrones. And you'll see, like, as the runes start to glow a blue light, the stone itself fades, and you see an open, bright, large city beyond it, which you assume isn't on the mountain. Take your time. We have little time, but a day won't cause any harm. So I invite all of you to explore the city, and he'll reach into behind his belt. He'll pull out a little satchel and just hold it out for one of you to grab.
If nobody grabs it, I'll grab it and say thank you.
It's got some heft to it. And he'll look and go, Eldar, it's good to see you, my old friend. I think you should find that this will help you. And you feel it's a bag full of gold. And it's probably about 2,000 gold pieces.
Holy shit. Come on, I'm going Sizzler. Eldar says, good to see you as well, old friend. I will do as I always have. I will protect Middle Earth. And he heads towards the door.
Do y'all follow?
If everyone else is going, yes, Sarador would stay near the back, and as everyone else is kind of leaving, he would gingerly approach Melian and Elrond there if they're still there.
Elrond would have been with you. Melian's just sitting petting Gorgoroth, the giant hound.
Gotcha. He would probably be more worried about her. He would just very, humbly wait to have her attention.
And she'll look up, just keeps absently stroking the hound itself, who, sits basically right up at her chair level. She'll, nod, to allow you to approach.
Yeah, he'll stay short and simple, and he'll just say, a young one made me feel like I had a chance, and I thank you for giving me that chance. And then he'll look up briefly, meet her gaze, and then drop his eyes back down.
And when you do meet her gaze, you see the sadness starts to leave them a little bit, and a small smile across her lips, and she kind of looks you over, and you can feel like her gaze is penetrating more than just your skin. You feel very seen in her presence, and she'll kind of, as you're looking down, she'll reach over and put a hand on your shoulder, and just because there was darkness in the past does not mean it needs to be there in your future. You will learn to smile again. And she'll just lean back in the chair and begin.
Okay, and then he'll step back and he'll kind of gently, just under his own breath, more to himself, just kind of be like, oh, we'll see if that occurs. And then just kind of makes his way through the door, following everybody else.
Yeah, or Strawn follows behind. He moves a little slower, that he falls behind.
Osiris will thank everyone for the gifts and the bag of gold and bow and walk out.
I also get up from being on my knee, get up, flip the trident around all sweet, hit it on the ground, look at him, and just go, thanks.
Clove will kind of be like holding her little bundle almost like to her chest, like, yeah, thank you. We'll do our best. She sounds a little confused, and she'll kind of be looking at Elrond when she does that and kind of like give him a nod. She likes him because he has confidence in her. And she'll kind of look at him, and then she'll turn around and kind of, it almost looks like a scurry because all you guys have long legs. Catch up. Are we leaving now to go shopping? Is that right?
That is what you wish. And Elrond will follow along behind you. And Tarion will start to fall in behind you guys as well. They seem to be accompanying you into the city itself.
This place we're at is strictly just a temple, correct?
Yeah, just go up.
Okay.
So it's nice to meet all of you guys. I'm Clove again. I am not as familiar with adventuring as everyone, so I'll do my best, but I won't know exactly what might be necessary.
You'll be all right, kid. You just hang out with me and Osiris. Hey, Osiris, we got her right. I give you a little wink.
If anybody gets in the way of between us and our venture, he'll kind of reach off his back. We'll give him a good hammering, and you'll see this like giant stone maul at the end of like this stick.
I like how it's a stick.
Oh, yeah.
And I just point over at Eldar and I go, "Was that gold?"
I don't think Eldar. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
All right. As you guys go through this stone passageway, as soon as you step through, you feel warm sunlight on your face. You know, at the top of that peak, it was pretty cold, so you're all feeling much better in here. And as you do, you see a large city. So as you exit the stone exterior, you walk into what seems to be almost like kind of like a Stonehenge configuration, and you walk through, and it's a circular area with, again, 12 different seats in front of it, and then in the middle is a dais. On the dais itself, you see there were chains and what looks like, bolted into the floor there. But as you exit, you look back east, and you see, so you'd be exiting right about here in Manahexar. As you look east, you see a large, sprawling city of Valmar.
I can't see anything, just for reference.
Oh, let's look it up. Stupid scenes.
We have no power here.
Nope. Hey, there we go.
So yeah, you'd be exiting here in Manahexar. And to the west, the elves would all know this. These two, Laurelin and Talpiron, you see two dead husks of what used to be the two trees that provided the sun and light in the world before the sun and moon. With that, though, do you guys have an idea of who you want to go see next? Because we're going to probably start to fade out here. Like, just in terms of Galadriel or Gandalf, do you know?
Galadriel.
I made my suggestion.
Yeah.
Eldar made his suggestion, but
Closest first, baby.
Theodore would probably just tag along because, he might know the names just from minor things, but he wouldn't have as much reference as some of the others maybe. So he would just kind of follow along.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we'll kind of start to end the session here. Obviously, you guys want to discuss going shopping. We can do that. But otherwise, I expect you'll just be able to purchase really anything you guys really need. As you guys begin to enter the city gates, Tarion will hang back and he'll look over to Aristoan and go, well, if they're going to go after Galadriel, maybe we could go after Gandalf.
Who's he saying that to?
Aristoan. So,
Say that again. I'm muted.
you're okay. Nope, we can hear you. He'll look to you and nod at the group. If they're going to go to Galadriel, perhaps we can go see if we can find traces of Gandalf to the south.
I think that's a great idea.
And he'll lead you through the western gate towards the south then. And he plans on essentially renting a boat for you guys to take south.
On the way out the gate, I pull out my flute and start playing us off to the boat.
And that seems to, Tarion likes that. He seems to warm up a little bit with the sound of music. And as you guys walk through, this is a bustling city, full of elves. As you're walking through the main thoroughfare here, Elrond points right in the dead center. He goes, this is the house of Tulkas. And he'll kind of nod towards Osiris. He's the Vala that chose you, my friend. This would be a good place for us to rest for the evening. We can set out at dawn.
The only thing, if we're gonna go shopping, the only thing I would need to buy was if we're able to buy stuff, I would just upgrade my armor from like leather to studded leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's something you guys can all do,
Yeah.
of course. So just think about things you might want or party the supplies you might all want together. Otherwise, yeah, we'll kind of wrap the session here a little bit, unless anyone has any questions or wants to do anything.
Well, only question I have is, and I'm assuming it's something different. So what do we do with the